We on?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I'm actually going to post the link on Twitter so that people can come find us there.
Yeah, make it happen. Welcome, everybody. We are loving this Christmas season, and we hope that you are too. And we're going to be talking about our top 5 favorite Christmas memories and our worst memories. Yikes. And we are going to be getting into that here in just a second, because nobody's watching yet and we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. If you're watching this in the future and you're not watching it live, that's great. And welcome. You're gonna get just as much value, if not more, than the people who are watching it live. And there's no way that I can guarantee that, because it's not possible.
Yeah, well, before we jump in and gauge, we'll gauge people to come in, and it's not updating because mine still says one person is waiting, and clearly there's a lot of people here. Greg is here. Greg Gressick is first. Welcome, Greg. Mitch Shaw, classic IT guy, is here. Crypto Mini Bike. Servando Estrada says, I'm watching.
Nice.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Yeah, we got getting people in here. Really good. We'll do our top 5 and last 5 Christmas traditions. Those of you who know and watch this on Coffee and Crypto, I had and I think there's something we'll do in the future for AMAs, Tim versus weddings. I have a lot of thoughts on weddings and a lot of problems with wedding traditions.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a fan always.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of marriage and the concept of getting married. I'm not a fan of the wedding traditions. And I don't think I'm as strongly opinionated about Christmas, but I definitely, though, you can ask my wife. My wife loves Christmas, and I really try hard not to be too much of a pooper. I am not the biggest fan of Christmas. I'm a big fan of what Christmas stands for. I'm a big fan of some original things that happened in early Christmas. I love some of the stories of historical things that happened, but in terms of what you have for American Christmas, today, 2022, I have some big things that I'm like, I hate this.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate this.
Right.
And I don't think I'm alone. I think most things I hate, other people will agree. Yeah, I hate that part too. Taylor says should have eloped. Yeah, so even Taylor, we know that's something we would go back and do. So to any person out there, and teach them you're one of these who is not married yet.
I'm married to the game.
I don't want to be ruin your day. If you really just love the idea of spending thousands of dollars on a ceremony and a party, do it. My hat's off to you.
Okay.
Check. Eloping. Shout out to the late, and also R.I.P. to Mike Leach,
right?
The Mississippi State coach who passed away here this past week. Very sad story, but he's also the same boat as me. He has a whole thing that he went on with an interview where he pretty much said, "Hey, if you think that sometimes women can be crazy in general, just plan a wedding.
Yeah,
work with your wife and your mother-in-law and everything." Yeah. He's like, my suggestion: just elope, save money, put money down on a house. You'll be much happier. But
I think I speak for both of us when I say that here at the Investing Bros, we don't think women are crazy anytime.
No.
I know I don't think that women are crazy.
To be fair, I think women can be crazy sometimes. So can men. I don't think it's restrictive to just women.
Yes.
I do think that by the way, though, I've seen men go crazy around wedding season as well. So I do think wedding season brings out more crazy females, but I've seen crazy males as well. Not as common.
Have you seen crazy males in the White House? Let's just get right into it.
Crazy males in crazy males in the White House, meaning crazy presidents.
Yeah,
absolutely.
How did you not pick up on that immediately?
It was such an obvious question. I was confused. I thought there was a joke hidden beneath the surface there for something. Oh,
Feliz Navidad. Servando Estrada is sharing with us. Servando, I'm curious because you got pretty hype when we announced the Argentina win in the World Cup.
Yes.
Are you actually Argentinian? Because that'd be super cool. Even if you aren't, that's super cool. No matter.
So pretty much he's just saying you're super cool no matter what you're
Everyone's super cool.
Yeah. GS says small intimate wedding. This wasn't supposed to become a wedding thing, but it became that. Brad Gatto said never married, no kids, ladies. Oh, Brad. Listen, and Brad drives a Subaru.
Yeah.
So, ladies, no, I agree. OGS, a small intimate wedding, that makes sense. The truth is, Taylor was not Taylor was not a bridezilla. Taylor was not crazy. The reason our wedding was as large as it was had nothing to do with Taylor. It was her parents and family who just wanted to. We several times told them, do not spend money on this. Do not spend money on this. Do not spend money on this. Do not, and they just did it anyway because to them it was their baby girl. and so
There's
that part makes sense. But
that Bridezilla.
All right,
like there's a movie called Bridezilla.
Let's go ahead and start. I think we got enough people in here. We got 26 people watching, and anyone else who wants to join late. Let's start off before we jump into AMA because we will get there. Tshroom.
Yes.
What is your top 5 favorite things about Christmas?
My top 5 favorite things?
Yes.
About Christmas?
Yes.
I think my first top thing, and this is going to sound cliche, but I genuinely like being with my family because I am so busy throughout the year, and everybody is, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't live in the same city as their family. I happen to live in the same city as a lot of my family. But I get to be around them in Christmas time, as more than likely you do too. And that is my number one favorite thing. I get to see my grandmother. I get to see my parents interacting with the rest of my family. And I have a cousin who had many children. Mm-hmm. And those children have been a blessing and a joy over the years to watch grow up. And it's just awesome to give them gifts and see their happy little faces glow when they open up my gift and they open up the gift from my parents and things like that. So that is number one.
That was long. We're going to have to go quicker than that.
A little quicker than that? All right. Number 2 is the Christmas pickle. No, just kidding. We don't have that tradition.
The Christmas pickle?
Yeah, that's a German tradition.
All right. That's definitely going to make my least favorite.
It's your least favorite?
Yeah, Christmas pickles.
They're expensive, too. Not really. Nothing grinds Tim's gears like an expensive pickle. All right.
You're not wrong.
Number 2, Christmas tradition, that is my favorite, other than seeing family, is setting up the Christmas tree. And that's something that I've been doing with my girlfriend for only 2 years now. So we are 2 years into the Christmas tree setting up, and it is a lot of fun every time. This year, and I know am I supposed to be going quick with this? Well, we're already almost halfway through this.
I mean, we're going to go longer,
but so this year, funny story, we thought we lost the tree. Because it's not a real tree, obviously. It breaks down.
It died.
I had put it in a monitor box. I bought a new monitor. It's actually this monitor right here that you can't see, this MSI monitor. Anyway, it was in the garage, and I kept looking for it. I was like, okay, maybe it's in this box, and it was. Yeah. And we rejoiced, and we then gleefully decorated our tree. So those are my first 2. Why don't we toggle over to you? You do your first 2.
I'm gonna do it really fast. My favorite thing, I agree with family. I think seeing family, I like the concept of family getting together and just spending time together. Not necessarily for long periods of time.
Okay.
There's such thing as too much, but seeing family. I would say the other thing would be the big one. Actually, this is probably my favorite thing about Christmas in general, is the coming of winter and the cool weather. And we probably have a lot of listeners out there that are up north. I know, like Jeffrey Fritz, Crypto Set Guy, for example, he is covered in snow at the moment. I love snow. I love the cold. I love like snowboarding and stuff. So cold weather is one of my favorite things about the Christmas season. I'm going to blow through my mind because I feel like yours takes longer to tell. So family, cold weather, food. Christmas food is always very good. Very, very good. Number 4, it's funny because a detail like this is going to make my least favorite. I enjoy looking at the lights. I actually think it's really cool when you drive through like a neighborhood and you see all the Christmas lights and stuff. I think that's really cool. I think there's such a thing as too much and crazy, but I appreciate a good festive looking place. Number 4 for me.
That was a good one.
Would be, man, I don't know if I have.
Do you watch any movies with your family?
I'm not a fan of Christmas movies.
You hate them.
I don't. And I don't like Christmas music either.
Do you think that Christmas movies should be banned?
No.
Do you think that Christmas movies should be perpetually stored on the blockchain?
I just don't think the same movie should be watched every single year to the point where you can memorize it and just read along with them as they're going through the movie.
I disagree. I am a big fan of watching the good old classics Christmas movies, and the one that I love to watch is Elf.
It's a good movie, but it just does not need to be watched every single year.
Yeah. And what I'll say is, I won't say that because not everybody who's watching is Christian. But if you're Christian, if you identify and you believe in Christ, take a little time to go through the story of Christ's birth with your kids and family before you watch Elf. Because my pastor says that this week, and it was very good. It's like, before you bring glory to the elf, bring glory to God. All right, let's zoom in on one. I'm going to reveal my epic 3 favorite Christmas festivities after we get into one of Tim's least favorite Christmas festivities, which is the German tree trimming tradition of the Christmas pickle. And this is this is like a price tag as well, but it gives a brief description here.
That's horrible.
The pickle ornament is very special to the German families. After they decorate their tree, parents hide the pickle ornament among the boughs. Okay.
What?
I think boughs are limbs of the Christmas tree.
This is terrible.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
This is a terrible tradition.
About on the boughs. When the children see the decorated tree for the first time, they hunt for the hidden ornament, knowing that the lucky child who finds it will receive an extra little gift from St. Nicholas. What tradition will you discover on your next visit? You can find these for $3.99. Yes, you can. And I had heard of that. I think my mom did it like once or twice, probably because she was so filled with glee from an advertisement just like these. And so the Christmas pickle, Gia S said in the comments that she's German and she never did the Christmas pickle.
Yeah, because it sounds like she has good sense.
It sounds like she probably has a good head on her shoulders,
yes.
Better than those whacked out Germans across the pond.
I'm gonna move into my least favorite because we're gonna get into answering some questions here because this is an AMA.
Go for it
and ask me anything. So what I do not like about Christmas has to do with what the United States has done. I hate the commercialized aspect of Christmas. I absolutely despise it. First of all, there is nothing. I'm not a dad yet. I will be soon. So next Christmas, but I don't think my child will be old enough to have the problem. There is very little in this world that, the things going around on social media right now, people talking about their icks. Like, I guess those nurses got fired. Like they did the icks from like pregnant women. I'm like, and they got fired because they made a whole video about it. But their icks. One of my biggest icks is watching a child cry over the gift they got because it wasn't what they wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are we doing to our society and our people by like it's an expectation. Here's nothing I hate. One of the reasons I don't hate gifts is because also I'm not saying everyone's like this. I've seen people give gifts with no string attached, right? But the commercialized aspect of Christmas, I see people give gifts with strings attached. I'm going to give you this with the expectation of A, either you're giving me a gift of equal or better value, or B, sometimes you're not expecting a gift back, but it's almost like look at what I did for you now, like you owe me one in the future. And people just cannot grasp like the concept of like, I don't think we as Americans grasp the idea of Christmas being a gift with nothing attached to it whatsoever. Also, why does it have to be 27 things that cost like $1,000 per person? When I was growing up, we read the story, the book Little House on the Prairie, where literally their Christmas gift was a candy cane.
Yeah.
And then like a little tinker, like a little toy thing that they would play with like next like 3 weeks, and then it would probably fall apart.
Okay.
Christmas is about family and is about being grateful and thankful. And of course, it roots go back to celebrating the birth of Christ, even though we all know that Jesus was born nowhere close to December. But it's just about choosing. Did I just ruin that for you? It's about choosing the right time, taking a time and saying we're gonna celebrate the memory of this. And it's become so commercialized, and then there's strings attached, and then you breed and create these little snotty-nosed children who are ridiculously ungrateful. And the reason I say that is because when I was a 4 or 5 year old, I got a gift that it was not the brand I wanted, and I cried about it, and I got in trouble, which is good. And I remember thinking back, I was like, what a little punk, Tim, that you cried over not getting what you want. Like, this is when I'm like 6 years old, thinking back when I was 4.
Right.
And from that, like I stopped liking gifts and loving the concept of gifts when I was like 6 years old. And it just that photo you just showed. I just saw it. It popped up.
Yeah.
The photo you showed. It is so commercialized. People fighting over toys, fighting over gifts. And then there's this whole, but we're still going to brand it and have everyone be like, oh, it's Christmas season. Let's all be nice to each other. But it's not, in all reality, it's let's smile at each other when we pass. But when push comes to shove, we're going to kill each other over these gifts and kill each other over not getting the right gift and kill each other. And then you're worried, because that's the other thing, is the very real fear. I know I'm tangential now, but it's like someone gets you something that's super valuable and you just got them something that was like $5.
Yeah.
And now there's this unbalanced, like, I'm just like, that's a very real feeling. Like some people be like, "Oh, Tim, don't feel that way." No, that is a real feeling. I've been in like places where a friend of mine got me something really, really good, and I got him something really, really stupid, and there was kind of a, wow, so Tim, that's what you think of me? And it's like, that's not the point. Like the point wasn't that we have to get each other like a gift worth like $300. That's so stupid to me.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of canceling gifts. No Santa Claus.
Yeah. And I take the opposite opinion. I love the joy of planning out what I'm going to get for somebody for Christmas. And I budget every year to be able to spend about $300
Per person?
On you. Yeah. I hope you got me something for $300. Yeah, I got you the new iPhone.
We weren't going to tell them that you were the friend I was talking about, Tshroom.
Yeah, and I got gold-studded collars for Coco and Beamer, and I hope that you got me something, man. But no, I genuinely do like the gift giving, but I can understand how you are a Scrooge, so that's fine.
I am a Scrooge.
All right. Okay. I will mention one more tradition because it's cool, and then we got to get into the AMA portion of this at some point.
Yes, we do.
The tradition that my family has over at the Tshroom household is the it's escaping my mind. The term it's the Phantom, the Christmas Phantom. So we've created like our own Santa Claus essentially. And the Phantom is a entity that brings envelopes full of money, full of cash dollar bills. And soon, when I'm the patriarch of the Tshroom family, it will be Ethereum and Cardano that will be passed out by the Phantom into all the happy little children's crypto wallets. And anyway, so that's a fun little thing. And we all pretend, we say, "Where is the Phantom? Where is it?" And we pretend, and the kids are like, think that there's an actual Phantom somewhere, and there is. And yeah, so anyway, that's a fun little thing. And I think my grandpa legitimately just came up with that out of thin air, or maybe he saw the Phantom one night creeping into the home and leaving envelopes of money for all of the children and all of the people who are in credit card debt and needed to pay off their debt. So now we can move into the AMA, right?
We can. I see. So people. Tim Defiant says Tim is a huge Scrooge, man. Wasn't expecting it.
Bit of a Scrooge.
Here's what I will say. Taylor knows this. I'm just not a gift person. Gifts is not one of my love languages. You know, like the love language thing is like time. It's like physical touch, quality time, acts of service. Which let's see. Yeah, acts of service. There's gifts, and what's the other one? Anyway, gifts is not a love language of mine, right? So it's also part of the reason why Christmas also probably irks me a little bit. Acts of service definitely are. So like for me, okay, I love Christmas gifts where people like serve, like they want to serve, and that's how I also do things for other people. Like when I do things, I love to do things for people and accomplish things for them. Gifts is not. When Taylor, she's probably in chat, throwing me under the bus here as well. Taylor knows I'm a horrible gift giver, but to be fair, I don't ever have expectations for people to give me anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not my love language. But I got her exactly what she wanted for Christmas this year.
Oh,
and she got me, real quick, she already showed me because it came in the box. I'm going to show you guys. This, I do love this gift.
Is this an unboxing?
This is not an unboxing. I do love this gift. There are gifts in this world I like.
Wait, are you a Virginia Tech fan?
This is like a huge thing. It's going to hang on the wall here in a little bit. But it's like a stadium. It's like a replica of the stadium in Blacksburg.
Look at that
Lane
smile,
Stadium.
guys. He is so happy about that.
So this is a good present. I love it. But presents as a whole, not always a fan. And I don't think people can hear me because I think this thing is blocking my microphone.
It's very possible. Anyway,
it's very big.
So let's zoom in on some more questions.
Yeah.
Let's see some questions that we are being asked. And these questions can be anything. Literally anything. Not seeing a lot of question marks.
Yeah. So people can start going and asking questions. We scroll back through, we might see a couple of them. I mean, a lot of people are just commenting on.
Yeah.
Mr. Quinto 93 said, "What, Jesus wasn't born in December?" I'm presuming it's a joke. Just so you guys know, we think. I mean, historians believe it's like July. July or May, June, July, that area.
Yeah, but what do historians know?
Yeah, it's not very little. Yeah, Taylor says it was kind of a point of conflict for us before we both compromised certain things. I'm assuming they're talking about we're very, I mean, but opposites attract. You know, she loves. That's the thing is Taylor is a gifts person.
Oh,
So
she said you're a good gift giver.
Again, I feel like I'm a better gift giver than I'm a gift receiver. Like there's literally been times where I actually did not like receiving a gift.
You know, it'd be the perfect invention for you, Tim, is an AI that you can give the social media accounts of the person you want to give gifts to, and the AI will generate a gift for that person.
That would be.
And then
helpful.
you can give it like a budget too. It's like only 4 cents.
Yeah.
Gonna be a lot of nails and screws and like little wood chips.
Let's see.
And you could call the app you could call it Scrooge or something, some kind of AI. Anyway, are you seeing any other?
I mean, a lot of people are just continuing on.
Alex Green said, "Win Lambo," and I've got a good answer for you. The Lambo is going to come in August of 2023. Is when you'll be able to buy a Lambo. That's just me speaking.
Here's another thing.
Specifically,
if we're talking about Grinch Tim has never been a car guy.
Yeah.
So I've never had
truck?
any thought whatsoever about wanting a Lambo. The truck was, I got tired of having to borrow other people's vehicles to carry things around. So I was like, this makes actually a lot of sense to have a truck. To me, I'm a very sensible, reasonable person. I purchase things and get things that make sense and have utility.
Mm-hmm.
A Lambo to me has zero utility.
Mm-hmm.
So like
it doesn't have zero utility, it doesn't have additional utility from a Toyota Camry.
It has zero utility.
Because it obviously has utility. What do you mean it doesn't have utility?
Even that, like when I say zero utility, when I'm thinking about a car, first of all, I learned from a very young age, my dad taught me, a car is a terrible investment. A vehicle is a terrible investment because it's a depreciating asset. And so when you're factoring in how much gas costs and how much insurance costs and how much the car costs, what are you getting out of it? To me, the reason I say zero utility is because the Lambo will cost so much and all the fees, it's not even worth really the owning. Like the only people that should own Lambos are people that just have too much, and that's really the people that own Lambos. You just have too much money, you don't know what to do with it. I don't understand. I would do so much better with my money if I had enough money to purchase a Lambo and to operate one. I think it's zero utility. I want a car that gets me from point A to point B that functions well. I don't care what the outside body looks like whatsoever. I want the gas to be efficient. I want the I want the gas to be efficient. I want the insurance to be low. I want the prices to be low. And if I have that,
but I mean, okay, those are all my priorities for vehicle purchasing. However, I do think that a Lambo has utility, a lot of utility. But it can get you from your domicile to your place of work.
I feel like you might
that's utility.
Who uses a Lambo to get to work?
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like who uses it. It's if anybody uses it to get to work, that's utility.
Listen,
you just need to freshen up on the definition of utility.
Brad Geidel says can't pull a boat with a Lambo.
That's fine. You can't pull a boat with a Toyota Camry either, but you can get to work with either vehicle. There are vehicles that have varying levels of utility, but a Lambo does not have zero utility.
Gosh.
Anyway, I think that's kind of evident.
Maybe if I lived in Germany. So here's one reason I would see utility for a Lambo, right?
I see where you're going with this.
If I lived in Germany on the Autobahn and if I want to, first of all, I'm not a risk taker either, so I don't think I want to go 200 miles per hour. But if I did, that's when a Lambo potentially comes into.
I think it is that it has utility because it obviously has utility, but it doesn't have an increased amount of utility relative to a Toyota Camry, relative to its price, the crazy price that you'd pay for a Lambo. I could agree with that. I think that the price that you pay does not get you added utility. What does it get though? Added luxury, right? And that's indisputable. I mean, that's what people are paying for, the status and the luxury that comes with it. You also... No,
because Lambos, they might look good, but Lambos, from what I've seen, they're not even very comfortable vehicles. Sometimes they're really small. Anyway, let's keep moving on. We got more questions here. Paul C said it's like buying a Rolex so you can tell when you have to go back to work. I agree, Paul C. He's saying that's stupid. Like, just get a normal watch from Walmart, and then when it breaks, get another one and save yourself lots of money. Alejandro Lepe said, what happened to Smay or Christian? Will we see him on your channel? I think so. I hope so. He's still, hanging on Gainesville. He is what is he doing? He is considering. I think he's going through the process of getting signed up. He's going back to school. He's actually wanting to go into, I believe, I don't think seminary, like becoming a pastor, but I think he wants to go to Bible school and like a theology school to become a teacher. I think he would love to teach. One of his passions is doing theology, which is kind of funny because a lot of people got to know him as like this big goofball. And that's part of the reason, like, if you guys have seen his video, he goes into detail on that. Like, he has a lot of deep thought that he wants to get into, but because he just lived around that, he's a young guy, so he does like being silly, and he's not going to stop being silly, but it's almost like people only saw him as being silly. So that's one of his reasons for kind of wanting to, step away from crypto, because he's not really passionate about crypto, and then B, step away from even that character Smay on we still call him Smay, but he wanted to step away from the character Smay on Coffee and Crypto, where he was just seen as a big goofball. I think he has another job lined up in January. He's going to be working still in production stuff for an education company. But he told me he'll come on from time to time. I think he would join us for content like this. I don't know how we'd get him in here. We'd have to broaden the cameras and just have him sit next to us. And
we could bring on a third camera. It'd be a little challenge, but we could easily do it.
But yeah, no, Paul C said I enjoyed his movie reviews. I think he should still do those things. I think he's kind of in a boat of relaxing. I think that but
not a boat that you could pull with a Lambo kind of boat.
Not a boat, yeah, a boat of relax. Okay, I think he's just relaxing. I think he's just. He likes being off camera again.
Are you still learning the German language? I'm never
stressed by it. I stopped learning the German language. I think he still does some stuff.
Okay. You found out that they do the Christmas pickle tradition. You were
saying, and it
that's
just
enough of that.
Pissed me off. No. Anyway, what were we talking about, Smay? I think he might come back on camera. He might even continue to do his own channel thing. First of all, doing any type of content consistently is a big commitment. I love doing this, but this is a big, like, every single morning we come do the show. It's a big commitment. There are definitely, don't get me wrong, Tshroom, I don't know, do you ever have a morning when you wake up, you're like, I don't know of how excited I am about the show this morning, but you just get up and do it anyway.
I'm excited about the show every morning. Why wouldn't I be?
Thank you for ruining my point. There are mornings where it's like, it would be very nice not to be a public figure and just sleep in this morning. But once I get going, I love doing it.
That's called Saturday and Sunday. Every other day, I wake up and am extremely honored to be able to come before you guys and deliver the top-notch crypto and now stock market analysis. But it looks like you've got a supporter out there. Tom Wilkes said, depreciating asset equals liabilities. Liabilities should be something important to the owner of that liability, not necessarily utilitarian. So it's a strike against my argument that Lambos have utility, but... Yeah. But you said they have zero utility. That's a very hard argument to make.
In my brain, they have zero utility. Which I think
okay, well, that's a totally different statement.
Okay.
And I can agree with that in your brain they have zero utility because you don't have one.
Yeah.
Okay, what else we got?
Let's see.
Somebody wanted to know.
That guy said, I slept in today. It was great. And okay, I want to preface that. It's not like I'm saying, like, I wake up, I'm like, I have to do a YouTube channel. But it is like, it's like, we set ourselves up to be here at 9. Like, we didn't get up every morning and we start prepping. I start prepping somewhere around 7:45. Tshroom's driving over here. We're getting stuff going at 8. And so there are mornings where I'm like, you know how cool it'd be just to sleep in this morning instead of getting up and doing that. But I do enjoy getting up here and doing it. I do enjoy doing it, especially since I've gotten better at it. I was about to say good. I don't know. I'll let other people decide if I'm good or not. I used to be super nervous. Like, when I first started taking over for Jeb over a Coffee and Crypto, I've never been like a panic attack guy. I'm not really an anxious guy, but I remember thinking like, what if we get stuck in this section? What if we have nothing to talk about? What if we get into this story and we get through it in 5 minutes, but we planned for 10 minutes, and then we have all this dead air,
and then the chats just start booing. They just boo,
the chat starts
just blows up with boo,
but now
hissing.
Now we've gotten to a point where, like, Tshroom and I talk about this every morning. We're like, he mentions, like, well, if we have enough time to do this, like, and what are we gonna do with this time of it? Like, what if we run out of time with this story and we have extra time? I'm like, Tshroom, we're never, ever gonna have too much time on our hands
between the two of us. But here's the thing. Between the two of us, we can just talk and talk. And the other thing is people bring up subjects in the chat that we can – it's exponential. We can't run out of content at this point.
I honestly think someday, like when we're able to do this full time, if we're able to do that, I honestly think we could fill like a 2.5, 3 hour show.
I think we could go all day. Yeah. And we might be working towards that behind the scenes. Alex Green had a comment. Tshroom, sometimes I think we share a brain. Love the honesty and dryness.
Who said that?
Alex Green.
Oh, Alex Green.
I do also agree with that statement. Paul C said, would you guys be opposed to doing a segment on NFTs and the utility behind different projects?
Actually, the answer to that one is I want to learn more, but the answer is absolutely yes, and I want to.
Absolutely yes, you would be opposed to it?
I would be opposed to it, yes. No. Is that? Oh, yeah, the word opposed isn't there. No, I would not be opposed to that, Paul C.
Wait, let me pause. I feel like the spirit of cantankerous Smay has come upon me today, and there's just some kind of weird, it's clicked for me to be, I don't know. I think it's because you gave me such an entry with the Scrooge stuff.
Maybe. Yeah.
Continue.
Sometimes.
With NFTs. Love them?
I would love, well, because remember, one of my biggest problems with current NFTs, especially the more popular ones, is the lack of utility other than just same as a Lambo. Just saying like, oh, I have this pixelated monkey. I don't like it. It became a club. It became I'm a cool rich guy who has this NFT, so I'm a part of this cool club. I actually really love the future of NFTs in terms of utility. For example, what's the project that Harry and his team, that Jet and them are running?
Pennywheel?
It's Penny Fly.
Penny Fly?
Penny Fly Entertainment, with the ability to buy NFTs to purchase concert tickets.
Mm-hmm.
The utility, that is phenomenal. I think, just so you guys know, little spoiler here, don't know how, when, what, but I think when we start to get our Discord up and going and we have different programs and things we're doing there, we might start an NFT line to allow you to purchase levels of, maybe we're going to do maybe like a boot camp, or maybe we'll do levels of higher engagement in that Discord where we interact with you on a more consistent basis. What we might do is use an NFT. So like if you want to purchase those levels, what you do is you purchase an NFT, and then when you're done with it, you can sell that NFT to somebody else, and they have access to it. We'll have to decide those details. Not sure the exact details of that, but I actually, even personally, with the Investing Bros channel, am very interested in expanding and using NFTs for something that actually makes sense, not just having a picture and saying collect them all, and if you own one, you're really cool.
So I did a lot of research on NFTs, and there's a lot to them, but it's early. And what I'd say is one of the most prolific NFT projects is Bored Ape Yacht Club, and the key is in the word club for Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I think that the reason why there's utility, the reason why they're more than just monkey JPEGs, is because the club, you're part of a club, and that might not feel, it's kind of like the Lambo. It may not feel like something that a lot of people would value, but it is something that a lot of people value. And then there's totally different types of NFT projects that are telling an ongoing story that maybe you can't access unless you have that NFT. And then there's NFTs that are like way more industrial, where they're like the tickets to get into some kind of event. Or the tickets to get onto some kind of API or some kind of website that you wouldn't be able to get onto otherwise. So there's all kinds of possibilities. And in the article that we didn't read today, Ethereum, Vitalik mentioned that what if you could log into your Facebook with an Ethereum NFT?
Yes.
Or you could do something like that. That's where
that makes sense.
Yeah.
My problem with the Bored Ape Yacht Club and others, and I know you're saying it's a club, the whole thing reeks and sounds just like the story. Did you grow up reading the book Dr. Seuss, Sneetches?
Yes.
There were the Sneetches that had the stars on their chest, and
right.
the ones that had not. And that guy came to town and said, "Do you want a star in your chest? Go through this machine." And then when they went through and they had all their stars on, all the ones with stars in their chest, they just want to be different. So they're like, okay, we want to be different, so let's take the stars off of ours. So the guy let them take them off, and it became this whole cycle. The reason that gives Bored Ape Yacht Club so much value is these wealthy, elitist club members who have it and get this superiority complex. They're special.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute normal people start getting in there and getting things like that, it's no longer special. They'll sell theirs off. And so what ends up happening is this one person who's just there. I'm not going to say they're hurting for money, because you got to spend a lot of money on those, but they're nowhere near as wealthy as these other elitists. So they work up, they save, and they go and they purchase one of these really good ones. And all of a sudden, all the cool kids want to leave. And now they just got stuck. If they want to sell it, they're going to lose like 90% of what they paid for it. I do not like that type of, there's no, other than saying, look at me, I own a Bored Ape Yacht Club. There's no other utility to it. So It's not art. It's not like, I don't like when people like compare it to art and say like, oh, it's like owning this elite piece of art. No, Bored Ape Yacht Club's not old enough. It's not been around long enough to be considered a really expensive piece of art that's just super cool to say you own it. It is a feeling, a club thing, and the space is too young for a club thing to be that important and that valuable. The fact that people are spending millions of dollars on these things, hundreds of thousands of dollars on an NFT that has no actual utility other than saying I'm joining the club, that just, how does that not sound like a rug pull type of aspect of something?
That's a take, and I think it's probably more accurate than not take on NFTs. However, there are definitely some NFT projects out there that the NFT project landscape opened my eyes to the storytelling and the being part of a story aspect that definitely has utility and value. Again, entertainment utility. But if you're somebody like Tim, who's like, Lambos don't have any utility, you're not gonna be able to see the utility in them sometimes. So NFTs.
Yeah, I mean, hey, people have made money doing art NFTs, so I'm not going to deny that people have made money. What I'm saying is that it doesn't make sense to me, and it doesn't have utility long term. And again, the only way you profit off of NFTs like that, because that's what reason majority of people are going to buy them, is because some other sucker purchases it from you. Versus a utility NFT, like this is what gets you into this group, and this is what allows you to be into this. Like there's NFTs that you have to have an NFT to get into parties and stuff. It's like, okay, if I want to go to these groupings of parties, I have to own this NFT. I'm done with those parties. Let me sell it to someone else. He wants to start going to those parties. All right, let me sell you my NFT. Now you can get into the parties. That makes sense to me. That utility, I'm not going to the parties. I'm not a party guy like that. But that makes sense to me. The concept of I'm going to buy a concert ticket, yeah, you're not going to really resell that unless that down the road becomes really rare. It's like there's only 20,000 of them and people want to own. Yeah, that makes sense because it has a purpose. The concept of getting into a Discord or like and using it to purchase things, and it acts as your receipt. That makes sense to me.
How much would you pay for these shoes right here? These are Sneetches shoes.
Oh my gosh. All right. First of all, are they Skechers?
They look like
I see SKE.
Yeah, they're Skechers.
All right, so $30.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if there's a price on it. I
thought you knew the answer.
I'm sorry.
Well,
we can visit the website and see if there's. Yeah.
Let's see here. I don't know the answer to this one, so maybe you do. Carl says, curious about your thoughts on ICP and Richard Hart's Pulse chain.
They're $65.
50%. Okay, so I could buy them on a 50% discount.
Yeah,
at some point. I didn't say I want to spend $30 on them though. That's just what I thought that would be worth. Do you have any thoughts about ICP and Richard Hart's Pulse chain?
I don't. Chain? That is not one that I've looked into. Sorry.
I don't know much about them. I know a little about Richard Hart and I know about Hex. First of all, I'm not saying Hex is going to go down or anything. I am not I hope I don't ruffle too many feathers here. I'm not a Richard Hart fan. First of all, he does seem like I'm trying to think of how to say this. He does seem like a guy who's just full of himself, and I don't like that kind of actor in the crypto space. I don't think he's helpful. He belittles people who disagree with him. If you don't think that Hex is the greatest thing in the world and Bitcoin's going to zero, you're an idiot in his mind. He just spends money for the sake of spending money. I think those matching outfits he wears are absolutely atrociously stupid. And even Hex, I watch it and I try to learn more about it. It just, to me, and how much he talks about it, it just screams to me like it's not a good project. Like I just would not invest in Hex whatsoever. And that's my opinion. And I don't want to be mean. I mean, obviously, like if I were to meet Richard Hart, I would be kind to him and I would, engage with him. I think he's a very intelligent person. Oof. But if I could be honest with him, I'd say, man, I think that what you're doing for the space is not helpful. I think you actually can be harmful to the future of the crypto space because he is one of the poster children of crypto. And I'm sorry. That's obnoxious. Like that is obnoxious. That outfit, the way he talks like he's the coolest person ever, but in reality, he grew up probably just playing video games which is fine. But these people in the crypto space that because they've made a little bit of money and they know technology, that all of a sudden they should be the most famous and most looked at people in the world. I disagree completely.
Are those Doritos?
I have no
in
idea.
his pocket.
I have no idea what it is.
No, it's making me hungry for Doritos. Yeah, he does have a lot of.
I mean, because here's the thing:
he has a lot of unique outfits.
People
here.
will look at people like him, and unfortunately, and I don't know what goes through people's brains to think this, but I just know some people will be like, "Man, I want to be like Richard Hart," and that should not be the point. Like, if anyone out there watches me and Tshroom and says, "I want to be like Tim and Tshroom," hopefully it has nothing to do with like our appearance or this. Hopefully, it has to do with, man, I want to be like Tim and Tshroom. They think logically. They break down things that make sense. They're good risk takers in certain areas, and they decide to stay away from other areas. I want to be a practical human being like Tim. I'm completely fine with that. If someone's like, man, I want to think the way Richard Hart thinks. I want to be as smart as he is. That's great. But a lot of people are just looking at him and looking at what he owns and what he wears and how he talks. And people are like, I want to be like Richard Hart. And they end up becoming complete doorknobs of humanity. And I, again, that doesn't mean I hate Richard Hart. I don't like what he stands for. And for those reasons, I'm not a person who. For those reasons, I'm out. I'm Kevin O'Leary now. I don't trust his. I don't trust what he puts out.
Yeah.
I think he's too internally motivated. He wants to make money.
Yeah.
Guess what the story is of all the rug pulls that have happened in crypto, all the scams? It was individuals who wanted to make money and gained a lot of popularity and knew how to leverage that popularity to make that money.
Yeah.
I don't see him as a good player in the space.
I think at best, he just judging from looking at him, which you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but just from looking at him and seeing kind of how Google Images portrays him, he seems like the kind of guy at best. Again, this is the giving them the benefit of the doubt argument that he is like super into collecting designer wear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he's trying to bring designer wear and that kind of like crowd into the crypto space. And if that's what he's trying to do, that's fine. That's great. You know, is that going to be like the next currency of the future? Is that going to be something that people are trading for oil and trading for like, you know, heads of cattle and things like that? No, I don't think that that's kind of where this guy's headed. But if he wants to be a fashion crypto influencer, you know, just make sure you're not screwing people over and you're fine by me. Make sure you're not rug pulling projects. Make sure you're not promising people that it's FDIC and it's not. Make sure you're not trading with people's money that they haven't said that you could trade with. And it's fine. You can wear whatever frilly little outfits that you want. And some of these honestly don't look that bad, but a lot of them do look really bad.
My last thing I'll say on him, and this is, I actually think if you were to go deep into his life, I bet you he has a lot of trauma and a lot of hurts and a lot of better things. He is a look at me guy. Like he just wants everyone to look at him. And you know what? Guess what? When you're a little kid, mommy, look at me. Daddy, look at me. Watch me do this. And then you do something that's really not that cool. I say that as a joke, but I'm actually trying to be sincere. Like, I actually would love, if I ever got to converse with Richard Hart, I would love to get to know him and hear about his story. And I guarantee you there is pain and suffering as a child where he did not get attention. And this is what happens with awkward people like that. They have some things that happen when they're young. And now, guess what they do have? They have money. And if you have a lot of money, people will look at you.
Yeah. No, these are some weak.
And so, like,
images.
What I just said might be more insulting than what I originally said. And I'm not trying to insult him. I don't like his character in the space. I don't like that he gets as much attention as he gets. But I also feel a little sorry for him because I bet you hurt people. Weird people, something bad happened to them. So, like,
wait. I hear the case you made. Look at this bag is an airplane bag. Is that even really Louis Vuitton?
He put that out. Yeah, it was a huge. Okay, want to talk about lack of utility? What the heck? Why do you need a Louis Vuitton handbag that's an airplane? First of all, you can't even carry it next to you. The wings are freaking slapping you in the thigh every time you take a step. Yeah. That is a look at me, I have money move. It's Louis Vuitton. It's a plane. It's the only one in the world because I'm the only person in the world who would ever ask for something like this to be made.
You know what would be funny is if this guy was just like trolling the entire designer community, though.
I don't think so.
He just doesn't look like a designer guy. He like designer guy. You think like some kind of like bald French guy with some kind of suave. Like this guy just doesn't. He seems like my uncle. He seems like somebody's like uncle who drinks a lot of Budweiser and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, we talked a lot about this guy. It's the first that I'm learning of him, and he just looks like he thinks he's a rapper. Yeah. Like he thinks that he's hopefully he's getting sponsored by these companies. He's
very
not just
intelligent,
buying it all.
Very intelligent person. Nothing I said goes against his intelligence.
Is he real smart?
He's very intelligent.
Okay.
I mean, you don't make a lot of money in this space like that without being that intelligent.
I guess.
People can call you idiots. I mean, I've heard other large influencers be called stupid. I'm like, they are not stupid. They're so brilliant that they realize they'll make money off of you calling them stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think too many people call Richard Hart stupid. I think our chat team, they agree. Like, he's very arrogant. He's very all about himself. He's very selfish. Sometimes very smart people are like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad. I'm a big believer of, what was I watching? I think it was a movie. I can't remember what people might say, but it's pretty much like if you're a good looking person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Use your good looks to influence others to good deeds. If you're a wealthy person, use your money to help other people, get it. If you're an intelligent person, use your intelligence to defend the weak, not attack anyone. And that's what happens is a lot of times very smart people use their intelligence to attack people,
mm-hmm.
And play psychological games with them. So he's not stupid. He just uses his intelligence for himself and nobody else.
DJ Rolling Rick said that he is the owner of the world's most expensive diamond. Do you find that to be admirable and cool?
Nope, because diamonds are stupid. You want to go into a new topic lack of utility and stupidity and just marking. Diamonds should not be anywhere close to as valuable. Diamonds are... ooh. There are a lot more diamonds than they want us to believe. It's just a monopoly. Like, there's one family that owns all the diamonds in the world, and they didn't know what to do with them, so they started this huge marketing campaign to convince people that they're super valuable when they're not. Diamonds are so plentiful, it's not even. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how plentiful they are, but it's just a marketing campaign to convince us that if you own diamonds, you're super cool. And it's stupid.
Defiant said he's kind of like the liver king of crypto.
I disagree with that, but that's funny.
What would you say to all of the people in the chat that like Richard Hart and that you want to stay with us? And do they have a place in being a crypto and being an investing bro?
Listen,
or should they get out? Get the heck out.
The times that Richard Hart talks about in the charts and investing, if you listen to him talk, he's a very intelligent person.
Gotcha.
He just will literally say, like, anyone who doesn't think different is stupid. I'm just like, well, how's that helpful? Like, you say smart things and then you just put other people down. So if you like Richard Hart, I mean, good for you. That's fine.
Cool.
I don't.
So there are some potentially redeeming characteristics of him.
I just, I know who he is. How do you know who he is? Because I've watched his content. I've watched his stuff. And I probably, it's not the last time I've ever seen his things. If he makes an observation or a prediction or something, I want to hear what it is. But I also tell people, even if you disagree with someone 100% and you think they're wrong, I like listening to opinions that disagree with me so that I can continue to get a better view myself of what's happening.
That's good. That's smart. Well, we've got somebody in the comments. Paul C. said, can you tell my wife that so I can buy more crypto with her diamond?
Listen.
So just say it right now.
Give your wife our email and tell her to email me.
I'll do it. Paul C.'s wife, let Paul C. sell your diamond so that he can buy crypto. It's the only way you're going to make it through the recession. It's recession proof. It's a recession proof.
I'll go further.
Plan.
Paul C's wife. You know that when you go out in public, nobody has a diamond reader that puts it up to your necklace or your ring or anything. Get a fake diamond. If you want to look good, get a fake diamond. Make it really cheap. Invest in your house. Invest in real estate. Invest in crypto. Invest in other things, and wear fake jewelry that's just as good looking, as cool as other people. And then just don't go to places where they make you put off your jewelry and then they want to test it to see if it's real or not. Who cares? Just wear the fake stuff. It looks just as good and just as pretty. And then invest money in what makes you money.
Paul C's wife, if you don't let Paul C sell your diamond and buy SHIB and Dogecoin, then you are going to be responsible for the 2023 stock market collapse and crypto collapse. Paul C, you're welcome. Merry Christmas.
That was our Christmas gift to Paul C. Oh my goodness, that's pretty funny.
The classic IT guy says, buy BTC with diamonds. I'm all in with that trading pair.
Yeah. Listen.
That classic IT guy's wife. Listen here.
Just doing paid shout outs to people's wives. Can you tell my wife so I can buy more Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Specialized videos.
We could write scripts for people to read to their wife on a video about trying to convince them to sell their wife's diamond. Now let me share my actual opinion on diamonds. I think diamonds are great because they do hold their value. They're especially now that the diamond market has adjusted to this whole like lab growing diamond thing. I think buying diamonds and holding them, is not a bad way to hedge against the recession. Tim,
you
disagree?
My friend tested this. He literally went into a store and bought a diamond ring. Asked them when buying it, what is the value of this diamond? They gave him a rate. He walked out, went in the next day to find a different person there and said that he wanted to sell them this ring. He wanted to find out the value of the diamond. They quoted him literally, it was like 50%. Like they, in 1 day difference, a different person reading it and evaluating what the diamond was worth, they went down 50% of what he had paid the day before. Proving, similar. Have you guys ever heard like the scam of like people who claim to be like wine experts, and like in all reality, these wine experts cannot tell the difference between certain, like they can tell like different like fruits that went into it, but like they can't tell down to the year the way they kind of imagine. It's kind of a scam thing. Same thing with diamonds. When people evaluate what diamonds are actually worth, it's a scam. Like they don't actually. There's not a universal evaluation. It's
yes,
very,
there is.
It's not, because again, he went to the same place and they read it the same way, just two different people reading it, and the valuation came out 50% of what the other person said.
I would like to do more information before I just jump into that theory wholeheartedly.
Diamonds are stupid, man.
Now let me full disclosure. I may or may not have purchased a diamond in the last 12 months, whether it be for an engagement ring or for my own belt or my grill that I may have gotten. So I'm a little biased, but I don't think diamonds are a scam. I brought up a chart here. Let's see.
Real quick, while you're doing that, GS says, "Can you write a script to get my husband to sell all his fishing gear for crypto?" That has more utility than diamond. But here we go. GS's husband.
Say it again, because it wasn't on you.
What?
Say it again, because the camera was on me when you started that awesome monologue.
Well, I'm trying to think of what I want to say, because what I was about to say was actually backwards.
GS's husband. You will stop going fishing, because fishing is killing the environment one fish at a time.
What?
And what you need to do is take all those fishing poles and post them on Craigslist today. Do not go to sleep until you have posted everything on Craigslist that could be considered by GIS as fishing paraphernalia and fishing pursuit hunting equipment. And use all that money to buy whatever GIS wants. Thank you, GS's husband.
Happy wife,
Merry
happy
Christmas.
life.
Happy wife, happy life. That's right.
There you go.
And leave those fish in the sea. Leave them in the river. Merry Christmas.
Let them get larger, and then catch them with a net. It's way cheaper.
We're calling out people's spouses today on the Investing Bros
Investing
AMA.
Bros. Yeah, get your spouses in place. That's what this episode is called.
What about the molecular structure of a diamond?
Okay, Taylor just said, "Can you get my husband to sell all his VT?" First of all, okay, Taylor, you're in the house with me. If you want to say something, come say it to my face. Second of all, what Virginia Tech stuff? I have like a $10 flag. I don't know what you spent on this thing, but to be fair, you spent money on it. And then this was a gift from Smay. So I have probably, of my Virginia Tech paraphernalia, this was a gift right here. I've probably spent a grand total of like $50 on Virginia Tech stuff.
Yeah, but okay, so $50 though, but that could be put into crypto.
You want me to sell my flag and then like I don't think I'm trying to think, I threw out $50. I don't think I've spent $50. Again, gift, $20, gift. I might have spent like $20 on that.
Greg just piped up, said, "Leave our wives alone." I think I've got a message for Greg's wife. Greg's wife.
Greg doesn't have a wife yet. Close. He's like 26 days away.
Greg's fiance.
Yeah.
Greg's fiance. Sell everything you own and give it to the poor, but take 20% of that before you give it to the poor and buy Cardano. Greg's wife, if you don't do this, you will be personally responsible for the collapse of the Western world, and we will all be sent to a very dark place.
Here's if Taylor's going to go after me for Virginia Tech paraphernalia, then I'm going to ask Taylor. So Tim's wife, Taylor, let's take all the money you spend on Amazon on the daily basis and invest that into crypto. We'll make a lot more crypto than me selling my Virginia Tech paraphernalia. So
yeah,
boom, roasted.
Taking a look here at the diamond markets. I don't know how they derive these values
it's a fake chart.
Over time. I disagree. I think that they are real. Look at that. They've got a trademark over the index word. It's got to be real. So right here, after the housing market crisis, because this is like when the S&P was starting to ramp back up, I believe. So it ramped up with the price of the S&P. So that means it's correlative, which means it's not like silver and gold, which means it's not the best thing for the recession. So everything I said to everyone's wife is wrong. Do the opposite. Yeah. So,
wait, do the opposite of what?
I don't know. I'm so lost in this.
What you just said was that the diamond's going to lose value. So sell now while the value's high. So because the value's going to go down because it's a made-up value system anyway.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Shiba Inu.
If you look at this chart, the value of diamonds is high. According to this chart, again, I know nothing about the diamond market. Is this AMA going on too long? I think that it might.
It very much is.
Might be reaching.
We said 30 to 45 minutes, and it went long. But
shelf life here.
You know, people were asking questions.
Christmas. What does it mean to you? It means a lot of things to a lot of people, and that's great. But what does it mean to you? Tell us in the chat right now as we're wrapping up, and we will react to what you say.
Yes.
And Servando Estrada, I didn't see your answer to whether or not you were Argentinian.
No, he said he was from Mexico.
Oh, he started from Mexico?
Yeah.
Now, when I was in Mexico a couple of years ago on a cruise, there were all these Mexican guys, and it was during the FIFA World Cup. All these Mexican guys were running around yelling, Mexico, Mexico. Oh, no, sorry, I just gave it away. They were yelling, they were yelling, Messi, Messi, Mexico. And I found that to be quite humorous, and so did my mother, who was also on that trip down to Mexico.
Well,
I'm trying to remember the city of Mexico.
Let's go ahead and wrap this one out. Last question, Taylor does.
Cozumel.
I want to hear what the chat says.
Cozumel, Mexico.
Because this was a conversation. I don't even think Taylor and I are arguing about this one, but we'll bring on our marital disputes to this AMA. Santa or no Santa when you teaching your kids? Santa or no Santa?
100% Santa. You're not going Santa? Well, I guess our kids can't play together.
I'm a no Santa guy, man. But I'm already Scrooge. You know, why not go ahead and throw in Grinch there as well?
I can't say that
I'm not.
Surprised.
I mean, I'm not a Santa guy. I'm not.
Really?
I mean, you're just lying to your kid. You're just lying to your kids.
I don't think you're lying to your kids because Santa is real.
My thought is if I'm okay with my kids learning about Santa, but literally the minute I get asked the question, is Santa real? I am not lying. I'm not going to say, of course, you better be good. So, no, I want my kids to be good all year round, and I don't want to threaten that. I said, I don't want my kids to be, that goes into commercialism. We're training them when young. The concept of teaching your kids to be good just so they get their presents on Christmas, no.
I think I've amended my point of view on this. When my kids ask me if Santa's real, I'm going to say, why don't you Google it?
Okay. How old are your kids when they're asking if Santa's real?
And then they're going to go and Google it, and they're going to find out the truth. And guess what? When you Google if Santa is real, it doesn't say that it's not real.
What did it say?
What do you think it says?
I have no idea. I've never had the thought cross my brain. What happens when you Google is Santa real?
Okay, I've Googled in no caps, lower caps, is Santa real? According to historic records, this is what your child would read, and it says for adults, for kids, there's a difference here. It says, according to historical records, Santa is real.
Yes,
Santa is real. But if I'm a kid, first of all, I've struggled to get through this first sentence because I'm still learning how to read. But this is it. Santa is real. Boom, diggity, case closed. And he's right there. Look at him. He's got it in this awesome shot right here.
Here's where the question,
standing by a door. Who's wrong?
Santa was real.
Google? Are you saying Google is wrong?
There was a Saint Nicholas. He has deceased. He is no longer with us. That wasn't him. It is commercial. Santa is just commercialization so that people spend more money on physical items so that the economy gets a boost during Q4. That's what it is.
Wow.
Boom.
That's dark. I definitely don't believe that.
Okay. Yes, you do.
So
we all know that's the game.
No.
Yeah, no matter what you believe, we know that's the game.
So here's another thing too. If you guys find some time, this is a plug for Jonathan Peugeot's channel, but he talks about how Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy exist, and he says obviously Santa Claus exists, and this is an entire lo-fi song. So, and let's see how many views it has. There's a legal zoom. I'm 10,000 views. So there you go. Santa is real. No, but you should go check out that video. Jonathan Peugeot. He talks about why Santa is real, and it's not what you'd think.
Yeah. It just makes me sound like I don't hate everything. I hate fake things. I love relationships with people. But it's okay. I can be the Grinch. I can be Scrooge. Christmas is not my shining time of the year where everyone's like, "Oh, Tim's the best." You know. I don't know if I ever get a time of year where that happens necessarily. But I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. We talked about being transparent and honest on this channel, and if I lied to you about my thoughts on Santa Claus and Christmas, then I would be a liar. And that's not what we are here. That is going to wrap up today's AMA. We didn't. I mean, we answered some questions. There weren't necessarily as many questions as we thought. In the future, when we do AMAs, we'll make sure.
Wait, GS is your husband's name really Santa and or wife? I don't know. However, I don't want to assume everybody, but she said I'm married to a Santa. I would bet you lunch
that her is not.
It's not.
Do you want to take that bet?
I'm married to a Santa.
No, the bet is this.
Why would she say that?
Is her husband's name Santa?
I'm married to a Santa. It's probably somebody who goes to the mall and gets paid to wear the costume, right? Is that what you're saying?
I have no idea. We gotta wrap this one up. Love everybody. Merry Christmas. We'll be back again, as we said in the last stream. We'll be back next Tuesday, and we'll definitely have a lot to cover. Look forward throughout the week, though. If something big happens, Tshroom and I will probably make some phone videos updating what's happening. If something pops up on the chart, I'll do a short little video on that one as well. But we're not going to have any show for the next couple of days, and we're not going to have these crazy videos going on. So, Merry Christmas. Love all of you guys. We will see you next week. Have a great day. She said he looks like a Santa. No, I covered my.